Week 3 of Essentials marks the week that students begin to analyze or parse sentences. At this point, they have experienced an introduction to verbs, nouns, and pronouns, as well as the concept of classifying sentences, and they are ready to begin the process of examining a sentence in detail. In the Essentials curriculum, the steps of this process are called analytical tasks. The purpose of analytical tasks is for parents to dictate a sentence each day to their student and have a dialectic discussion to help their student understand the parts of the sentence and how they work as a whole. This video tutorial will cover analytical tasks 1 and 2 in detail. These tasks are comprised of dictating a sentence and also checking its mechanics. Task 1 consists of dictating a sentence to your student. In order to begin, you should read aloud the model sentence 3 times slowly. Your student will then write the sentence. The act of writing a sentence that is dictated strengthens many skills, including listening, handwriting, and capitalization. This is an integral step toward becoming a good writer and building the habit of listening closely, in addition to the skills of spelling, punctuation, capitalization, and handwriting. In dictation, you as the parent supply the what to write so that your student can concentrate on how to write. Eventually, your student will do both activities at the same time, but practicing them separately removes much of the frustration for a beginning writer and improves the mechanics of writing. In this tutorial series, we will follow the same sentence throughout all analytical tasks. The model sentence is, Trey likes apples, but Lily prefers oranges. This sample sentence, found on pages 332 through 335 of your Essentials curriculum, is examined and parsed through all 6 analytical tasks. In order to parse our model sentence completely, we will be using the Analytical Tasks Trivium Table as a guide throughout this tutorial series. To complete Task 1, read aloud your model sentence 3 times slowly. Then your student will write the sentence. For Task 2, you and your student will check the mechanics of the model sentence. At first, you will ask the questions and your student will answer, or you may give the answer and explain it. Eventually, your student will begin to ask himself or herself the questions and make corrections independently. First, you will begin by asking, is it a sentence? There are 5 components to a sentence which you may remember from Chart A: a subject, predicate, capital letter, end mark, and complete sense. Secondly, you will ask, are the punctuation and other capitalization correct? This is a fantastic opportunity to explain applicable rules found in the punctuation and capitalization rules beginning on page 297 of your Essentials curriculum. If your student is completing his or her first tour of Essentials, integrating the rules mentioned each week in your curriculum is a gentle way to introduce these at home. Finally, you will ask, is the spelling correct? If a word is not spelled correctly, you should remind your student of the spelling rule that applies, show the correct spelling, and allow him or her to correct the mistake. During this time, it is wise to explain applicable spelling rules found in the weekly Essentials spelling lessons. To complete Task 2, we ask the following 5 questions and check off our list as we examine our model sentence. This first group of questions helps us determine whether we are working with a true sentence or just a fragment. Our first question is, Is there a subject? Yes, in the sample sentence, there are actually two, Trey and Lily. As a reminder, we will cross out on our Task 2 checklist each element that is true about our sentence. Secondly, is there a predicate? Yes, just as before, we have two predicates, likes apples and prefers oranges. Next is the first letter of the sentence capitalized. Our sentence begins with a capital letter T. Does the sentence have an end mark? Our sentence ends with a period. Finally, does the sentence make complete sense? When we read it, does it sound like a complete thought? It does. Therefore, it makes complete sense. Our next question is, does the sentence have correct punctuation and capitalization? Within this sentence, we have two punctuation marks to consider, a comma and the end mark. Both are in correct locations and are also used correctly. We have two words in this sentence which are capitalized, the names Trey and Lily. Since these are proper noun names, they are both correctly capitalized as well. Our final question is, does this sentence have correct spelling? As we quickly reread the sentence, we see that the answer to this final question is also yes. This concludes Analytical Task 2. Thank you for viewing this tutorial on Analytical Tasks 1 and 2. Join us for Task 3, Question Confirmation, in the next installment. May God richly bless you and your family as you seek to know Him and to make Him known.